Hilda is now working for George Cannon, while Edwin, 24 years old, is still an assistant in his father's shop.
Edwin! Enter up those cards. I'm going to see Big James.
Yes, sir.
Enjoyed yourself, have you? I go away on business for 2 days or less, and when I come back, I find all this.
I asked you about putting in that door, Father. You said it was all right.
Did I? Oh, aye. Is that why you sneaked it in while I was out of the place?
It just happened to be the day it was due to be done.
Due to be done, was it? Due to be done. Well, I do not care for it, so I left it come down.
Yes, Father.
I'll keep an eye on the shop. Thank you very much. That lad's stiffed in there. Now got a paper boy till Miss Ingermill's chose to get herself wed. I'll keep an eye on him, thank you. He'll have to come down.
I do spend more time in here than you, Father.
You spend your time? Well, I decide you will. You're not in charge yet, and at this pace, you're not likely to be. I'm thinking you lost an order while I was gone.
I said we couldn't do it in the
I'll
time.
say what we can do and in what time. You say nout in future without coming to me. Now, have I put it simply enough for you? Nout, you say, nout. Is it understood?
Yes, Father.
Right. Now go over to the printing shop. Get on with your work.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Albright.
Mr. Clayhanger about?
I do believe Mr. Clayhanger's in the printing shop.
Oh, good afternoon, Edwin. Looking after yourself, I hope.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Orgrave.
Oh, we had a letter from our Charlie this morning.
Oh.
Hardly believe our eyes. You know he's at Bart's, of course. Bart's Hospital. He's a houseman there. Oh, nowhere like Bart's, according to Charlie. Listen to him, you'd think he was head surgeon already. Oh, seems a long time since your school days, isn't it? Look, Edwin, trying to hunt your father down.
He's in the printing shop, Mr. Orgrave. I'll tell him
Well,
here.
it is rather urgent. You know what it's about, of course.
Don't think so, Mr. Orgrave.
Oh, well, mustn't spoil his secret, then. Still, if he takes the decision, I think he will. You'll find out soon enough. And with your interest in architecture. Oh, there you are, Mr. Clayhanger. Just looking for you.
Afternoon, Audrey.
Well, I said I'd call this afternoon, so I have.
Ah. You best come upstairs, I'm thinking.
Certainly.
You can come upstairs. Have I finished entering up those cards yet?
Not yet, Father.
Best get on with it, then.
The next time, the very next time he humiliates me like that in front of other people, I'll walk out of his damned house and shop and I won't come back till he's apologized. I'll bring him to his senses. Once and for all. I'll stop it, I will. He can't do without me. Architecture.
Oh, good afternoon, Maggie.
Good afternoon, Mr. Orgrave. I'm sorry, Father. I didn't know
That's
you was...
business. Leave us alone, will you?
Yes. Yes, of course, Father. I'm sorry, Mr. Orgrave. Excuse me, Mr. Orgrave.
Well, then.
I brought all the details.
Ah.
Preliminary plans for the house, plans for the reconstruction of these premises, and total costings completely broken down. Oh, and I've spoken to those people I mentioned, and the mortgage can be arranged, all right? You must do it, Mr. Clayhanger. Of course you must. Man in your position owes it to himself. You don't have to tell me about the printing trade. It's got more future now than it's ever had in these 5 towns. And there's this new newspaper starting up.
You're talking of that Turnhill thing?
5 Towns Chronicle. Isn't that what it's
5
called?
Towns Chronicle and Turnhill Guardian. Fancy name for a failure, is that?
Oh, do you think it'll be a failure?
Bound to be. We got the signal here, and nothing ever stood up to signal yet. Here is Benion's that's printing it. Good luck, too.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you're right. Won't last long. But your trade's good. You don't have to tell me that. And what's more, you're a good businessman. You know that you save money by owning property. It's the basic law of economics. It's the last site left now. Well, it's not surprising, really, considering the advantages. They got those steam cars going up every quarter of an hour. 3 minutes flat. That's all it takes. Of course, these new buyers will be paying more than you. You still got the price that I was able to quote when I first started talking to you about it last year. On the other hand, well, naturally, I'll meet you as far as I can. I can't hold all these figures for much longer without actually making a loss myself.
I'll study him again.
Here we are, then. Now, miss, you tell whoever it is who uses it to make
I'm
sure...
the one who uses it.
Oh, so. Well, you'll know all about it, then.
Yes, I do.
Is it to be cash or account?
Account, please. The 5 Towns Chronicle and Turnhill Guardian.
Oh, the new paper.
That's correct, yes. Mr. Cannon's paper. I'm on the staff there.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm the shorthand secretary.
Oh, you know shorthand, do you, miss?
Yes.
I was thinking of taking it up. Is it hard?
Well, you have to work at it.
I bet.
But it'll revolutionize business, believe you me.
Hey, will you show me some? Come on.
Oh, no, really, I
Oh,
can't.
please, come on, write down what I say. I'd be grateful if you would.
Oh, all right then. But not too long, mind.
It is 6:15, and I shall be going home soon. Is that what that says?
It is 6:45, and I shall be going home soon.
Hey, golly, you do it quick.
Well, there are lots of people who are quicker than I am.
Not in the 5 Towns, I bet. Not woman, anyway.
Well,
When is it this new paper comes out?
oh, the first edition comes out in 2 weeks' time.
Do you think it'll go?
Oh, yes. Mr. Cannon's sure it will. It'll be something quite different than there's been here before. Once a week at first, and then, when it's a real success, like the Signal, it'll come out every day. That's why it's got the name it has, you see. It was going to be the Turnhill Guardian and 5 Towns Chronicle, but Mr. Cannon decided to change it round. And I'm quite sure he's right. It'll be a paper for all the 5 towns.
There'll be something down, won't it, eh?
Oh, yes, it certainly will.
'Tis 6:45, and I shall be going home soon.
Yes, well, I shan't. So I shall have to go to work now.
Do you work in the evening, then?
Oh, yes. We have to in the newspaper trade. Good night, then.
Good night, miss. I wouldn't mind betting I have a go at this.
Not in the 5 towns, I bet. Not a woman, anyway.
Champion female clog dancer of the Midlands.
Good evening, Mr. Clayhanger.
Good evening. Oh, good evening, Miss Orgreave. Blast! I could have said something better than just that.
Huh? Thought I was sleeping, didn't you, Miss Clearer? Thought as you could sneak past me then.
Sorry, Father.
Cold, are they?
Yes, Father.
Like an oven in here. That's no idea what coldness is. One medium lump.
Thank you, Father.
Albert Benbow, eh? Albert Benbow, I said.
What about him, Father?
I knows what about him.
Sure I don't, Father.
Any whispers a shout, he Bursley, miss. He may not be biggest fish in sea, but happen he's not a tiddler either, so that's what they want.
I'm sure I don't know,
When
Father.
it's done with coyness, let me know.
Yes, Father.
Well, there'll be another change around here. I've just done a small bit of business, as I'll tell you. I had a bit of a talk with Osman Ulgri.
Hello, Father.
We left his supper.
Thank you.
Company thinks it's hotel, eh? There's proper time for supper, than us.
I'm sorry I'm late.
That's been someplace, then.
Yes, I have, Father.
Ah,
I've been to join the Liberal Club.
Liberal Club.
Yes, Father. I thought I should join.
That's been now to join Liberal Club.
Yes, Father.
That's taken leave of the senses or what?
Well, you're in the Liberal Club.
Don't start to tell me as what I'm in. There's mess enough, I tell you. There's free thinking enough without thee giving support to Liberal Club.
Well, I thought you wouldn't mind.
There's naught to tell me about Liberals. See, I'm a Liberal, always have been. There was changes needed. There's been changes made. Changes as was changes. Not blasted unions changes, no. I'll not have unions teach me changes. What's Liberals want with unions, eh? There's two things I'll not have at any price. That's unions and heresy. I know nought about it, nought at all. I've taken leave of the sense, you know what? I'm a printer. So are they. Trade. It's a trade as we're in trade. There's no use meddling politics with trade. And don't think I've forgotten that door you put up in the office. I said I'd have it down, and so I will.
You were going to tell us, Father,
Eh?
about Mr. Orgrave.
Blast Mr. Orgrave! I was daft enough to let him talk me into building a new house.
A house, Father?
Ah,
A new house.
there's none as I've heard of as builds 'em old.
Where is it to be, Father?
Bleakridge.
On Trafalgar Road.
Ah,
Mr. Orgrave designing it?
what he's charging, happen is.
But Father, that's so exciting.
I think so. But then it's not thee as has got to pay.
Smudged.
Copiousness with the H2O, Miss Laswers, is the father of smudged epistles. I'm ready to go through these proofs of the circular with you as soon as you are.
Oh, yes, Mr. Wilson.
Your worships, aldermen, councillors, gentlemen, we take great pride in announcing LC.
What's that mean?
LC, lowercase, small letter, not a capital.
Thank you.
Most welcome, Miss Laswers. In announcing to your honourable selves and to the public, I think we'll put in lighten there before public. Ring it, will you?
Ring it? Oh, I see.
Yes, put a ring around the word in the margin. That's to show it isn't the intelligent compositor's mistake, you see.
Well,
I've been round Banyans and made it clear to him that if he can't guarantee to run off a maximum of 2,000 of an 8-page sheet, we shall have to try Clayhanger over at Bursley, even if it's at the last minute.
What did he say?
Grunted.
I shall risk 2,000 anyway.
Paper delivered, Governor?
Will be tomorrow, I think. Have you got that letter, Miss Lesways?
Oh, yes, Mr. I think you might want me to do it again. You see, it's
Latherer of H2O.
No, it doesn't matter. But you ought to have signed it before it was copied in the letter book.
Oh, Gemini. Miss Laswers.
Sorry. I forgot to.
Dyson and Company.
Just take this down, will you, Miss Lesways?
Yes.
Mr. Ezra Brunt. Ready, Miss Lesways?
Here.
Mr. Ezra Brunt. Dear Sir, re-advertisement. With reference to your letter in reply to ours, in which you inquire as to the circulation of the above newspaper, we beg to state that it is our intention to print 4,000...
2,000.
No. 4,000 of the first number. Our representative will be pleased to call upon you by appointment. Respectfully yours. You better sign that, Dason, and get it off tonight. Is Souter here? Oh, Dason. A moment.
Certainly.
Mr. Ezra Brunt, dear sir, re-advertisement. In reference to your letter replying to ours in which you inquire as to the circulation of the above newspaper, we beg to state that it is our intention to print 4,000 of the first number. I have finished the letter, Mr. Cannon.
Sign it, Dason, please.
Allow me, Mr. Dason.
This letter's a lie, and I've written it for him.
Very well, Miss Sussman.
That needs to be in the Post tonight. Now, to get back to this leading article, Mr. Richard Enville is candidate for the post of Chief Bailiff.
He is completely in command. Come in. Did you know I was here?
No, indeed.
Yes, well, I am. I'm engaged here.
On a newspaper?
Yes?
Wow, splendid of you. Look, Hilda, I'm afraid it's terribly important. I've come to see Mr. Cannon. I heard he was starting this newspaper.
He's engaged.
Oh. It's really about Miss Gailey.
Yes? What?
I've just come from seeing her. She's Mr. Cannon's half-sister, you know.
Yes?
But they've quarreled, haven't they?
Oh, well, you see, she quarrels with everyone.
I'm afraid she does, poor thing.
She quarreled with Mother.
Really? Oh, yes, I remember you told me years ago, wasn't it?
Years and years. Is Miss Gailey in trouble?
I'm afraid she is.
What?
I believe she's starving.
Starving?
Yes, I do. I really believe she hasn't got enough to eat. She suffers fearfully from rheumatism. She never goes out, or scarcely ever. You know, her dancing classes have all fallen away to nothing. I fancy she tried taking lodgers.
Yes, she did.
But she hasn't got any lodgers now. There she is, all alone in that house.
But she can't be starving.
I really think she is.
Well, what's to be done?
That's the point. I've just seen her. I went on purpose because I'd heard, but I had to pretend all sorts of things to make an excuse for myself. I couldn't offer anything, could I? Isn't it dreadful? Nobody but Mr. Cannon can do anything.
I'm quite sure he hasn't the slightest idea. Not the slightest. I'm quite sure of that.
Oh, so am I. That's why I came. Somebody's got to give him a hint. I never dreamt of finding you, Hilda.
It is strange, isn't it?
I suppose you couldn't give him a hint.
Yes. I'll tell him. Of course.
Oh, I'm so glad. It is good of you.
It seems to me that it's you that's good, Janet.
He's bound to see after it.
Oh, yes.
We'll tell him tonight. Well, Hilda, what about you and all this then?
I know. I'm the shorthand secretary.
Shorthand?
Yes, I learnt it.
Well, how clever of you. I'm sure I could never do this.
Oh, yes, you could, Janet. It's not so very hard.
I'm sure it is. But I thought Mr. Cannon was a lawyer.
Oh, yes, he still is. He does that in the daytime and this at night.
Oh, I see.
It's very exhausting for him. I sometimes wonder how he manages. Oh, come on now, Janet. How are you? And how's Charlie? And how's your father? And how's your mother? And how are all your other brothers? And your sister? And oh, everything. Tell me everything.
Oh, well, I'll make a start anyway. Charlie's a doctor.
Doctor?
Yes, at Bart's Hospital.
How wonderful.
Isn't it? And father? Oh, look, of course, father works far too hard. I worry sometimes about how hard he works, but everything's so expensive now. His checkbook never seems to be out of his hands. Oh, he's building in Trafalgar Road.
Trafalgar Road?
Yes, you know how our house used to be nearly all by itself. But it isn't anymore. There are streets of cottages to the side, and they're building splendid houses along Trafalgar Road. Father's already finished one there, and I heard only today he's got a commission to build another for Mr. Clayhanger, the printer, you know.
Oh, yes.
Their garden will join right on to ours. There'll be hardly any country between the 5 towns soon. Oh, good heavens, Hilda. What's the time? I've broken the spring in my watch, and I have to meet Father at the station at 10:15.
Haven't a notion. We just work here till we stop.
I hope it isn't 10 o'clock.
I could ask.
Oh, no. I'll run. Well, I shall tell Charlie I've seen you next time I write to him. I'm sure he'll be glad. And you must come and see us. You really must. Mother and Father will be delighted. You still recite like you used to? Mm. Oh, what a shame. Well, we shall have to persuade you. Anyway, I must go. Goodbye, Hilda, dear.
Bye, Janet.
And you will tell him about Miss Gailey?
Oh, yes. Do I envy her? Yes, of course. I don't. I don't, and no, I don't.
Good night.
Mr. Cannon?
Well,
I wanted to talk to you.
what is it? I'm in a hurry.
It's rather important.
Well, tomorrow afternoon?
No. Tonight. I must speak to you tonight. It's very important.
Well, if you're finished here, put your things on and walk along with me. I've got an appointment at the Saracen's Head.
I suppose you know Miss Gailey's practically starving.
What?
Miss Gailey, she's starving, it seems. I felt sure you didn't know. I thought someone ought to tell you.
What do you mean, starving?
Not enough to eat.
And how did this tale get about?
It's true. I was told tonight.
Who told you?
A friend of mine who's seen her.
But who?
It wouldn't be right for me to tell you who. Have I used the wrong words?
Here's the letterbox.
I know very well it's not your fault. I know if you'd known. But with her never seeing you and people perhaps not caring to...
I'm very much obliged to you. Fine night, officer.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.
It's wonderful to be here like this. Quite wonderful.
I was only thinking the other day. I've got the very thing for my half-sister, the very opening for her. It's 1,000 to 1 chance if only she...
Is it too late now?
No. No, it's not too late. I shall go and see her tomorrow morning, first thing. It wouldn't do for me to go tonight, you see. It might seem odd.
Yes. Well,
Good night, Miss Letchworth.
Oh, yes. He'll find out the truth. And they'll be reunited. Of course they will. Sometimes life is beautiful.
I shall go and see her tomorrow morning.
But, Mother, don't you think you better wait? It's so many years since you saw her.
I shall go and see Sarah Gaylor tomorrow morning, and let that be understood. I don't need my daughter to teach me when I ought to go and see my friends and when I oughtn't. I knew Sarah Gaylor before your Mr. Cannon was born. I shall tell Sarah Gaylor she's got to reckon with me now, whether she wants to or not. That's what I shall tell Sarah Gaylor. Shall you come into the parlour? It'll be time for tea soon.
There you are, Florrie.
Thank you, Mum. Will you be needing more hot water, Mum?
No, thank you, Florrie.
I think you're right, Caroline. She seems a promising little thing. I think there's the makings of a good servant in her.
I can't tell you how relieved I am to hear you say that, Sarah. Yes, it's true, I was thinking so myself, but when it comes to housekeeping, you know I put your judgment first. We went without hot buttered toast for I don't know how long, because no girl we had could make it properly. But I really think this Florrie can. And she does make quite a good pot of tea.
Oh, she does, Caroline. She makes a good pot of tea.
Now you must eat that cake up, too. It's freshly made.
I can tell it is, yes. I don't think I could possibly manage any more, though.
So you're thinking of going to London, Miss Gayley?
Now mind your business, you inquisitive little puss.
No, it's... Well, Mr. Cannon does seem full of it. I told you how full he was of it, didn't I, Caroline? You know how he is. When anything takes him.
Do I know how he is?
It's a boarding house he's got control of up there. Something about a bill of sale on the furniture, I think, but perhaps you know.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, anyhow, he's bent on me taking charge of this boarding house. He will have it. It's just the thing for me, but I don't know.
Everyone knows you're a splendid housekeeper. Always were.
I remember the refreshments at your annual dance.
I always attended to those myself.
I don't know anything about refreshments at dances, but I do know what your housekeeping is.
Well, that's what George says. He says he never had such meals and such attention as the years he lived with me.
Well, I'm sure he must be sorry many a time he ever left you. Many and many a time.
Oh, well, relations, you know. And then Mr. Cannon has always had ideas about boarding houses and furnished rooms and so on. He's always said there was lots of money to be made if they were only managed properly. Only they never are. He says it isn't as if I didn't know what London is, as he says. I did live there, but it's such a long time ago.
Oh, come, Sarah. It isn't as long ago as all that.
It seems so long. He's so set on it.
Well, why not?
Well, I don't know whether I could.
Now, you're younger than I am, and I'm not going to have anyone making out that I'm growing old. Now, do finish that bit of cake.
No, thank you, Caroline. I really couldn't.
Not but what I should be sorry to lose you. There's no friends like old friends.
No.
Hilda, do turn down that bit of gas a bit. It's fizzing. Now, Sarah, I wonder if you remember this. You know where my father used to make the teapots? By the side of Winterbank, you know. Hop, 1, 2, 3. Hop, 1, 2, 3. Hop, 1, 2, 3.
Pick up your feet. That's good.
1, 2, 3. Hop, 1, 2, 3.
Take your partners round. Orgreave, make the best of yourself. Line, Miss Letways. Consider your line. Thanks, Miss Orgreave. Enjoy yourself. Faster, faster. Turn, ladies, gently. Look at your partners, bow and curtsy. Those bows are too cold, boys. Once more, if you please. Music. We shall attempt the polka again. Master Orgreave, will you be kind enough to ask me to dance?
Miss Gailey, may I have the pleasure of taking this next dance with you?
Now, will you ask me all over again? And try not to look as if you were granting me a favor which made you rather ashamed of yourself.
Miss Gailey, may I have the pleasure of taking this next dance with you?
Thank you, Master Orgreave. Of course you may.
Yesterday, she didn't know where her next meal was to come from. Now he's given her money and rescued her. And yet she's terrified. Isn't she? She's terrified of him.
Will Florrie have heard it?
I didn't expect to meet you here, Sally.
Well, I invited Sarah to have tea with me.
Ah. Well, I've just come to have a private word with Mrs. Lessways about putting one of her Calder Street tenants out onto the pavement.
I'll leave you then, no, Sarah, you do no such thing. You're most welcome to hear what Mr. Cannon has to say. I've got no secrets of any sort from you.
Well,
no secrets at all. Now, come along, Mr. Cannon, do take a chair.
Oh.
And I'm sure I can press you to a cup of tea.
A cup of tea? Ah, I have to confess to you, Mrs. Lessways, that I have not had a cup of tea this afternoon.
All the more reason for you to have one now. Come along, Elder. Cup and saucer, please.
Oh, yes.
Mind you, my tea can't stand up with Sarah's. I must warn you of that before you take a sip.
Well, Sally's tea is the best I have ever tasted. But I have a positive feeling, Mrs. Lessways, that yours will compare.
And I have a feeling that you'd flatter grime into gold.
If only I could, eh? Oh, now, I should say that was a perfection of colour. You're the judge, Sally. Is that not a perfect colour for tea?
I think it is.
Enough of the colour. It's the taste as counts.
What can a man say about tea like that?
Nothing, I should think.
I know I can't say it's better than Sally's.
Well, I should hope not, indeed.
But nectar, it undoubtedly is. Oh, we poor chaps in digs aren't used to tea like this. That's the trouble with boarding houses, you know. They don't look after people properly. Oh, there is a fortune to be made in one that does. Did Sally tell you that I want her to run a boarding house for me?
Well, yes, she did mention it.
She's the ideal person to do it, of course. You are, aren't you, Sally? Admit it. Come on.
I don't know.
Oh, my dear girl, you're too modest. That's what's the matter with you. You are the ideal person. Everybody else knows you are. And believe me, this is the ideal place. Now, look here. Look here. There it is. This advertisement is from the London Daily Telegraph. Hornsey. Best part. A highly recommended and refined boarding house in which the rooms are outstandingly comfortable and only superior food is served has occasional vacancies. Oh, no, no, no. Here, read it for yourselves. That's what's so marvelous about it, you see. It's a going concern. Oh, the proprietor isn't leaving because he's losing money. Oh, no. He's had a bit of bad luck with another enterprise, and he's pledged the contents of this house as security. At this very moment, that house is almost full. Oh, it's a 1 in 1,000 chance. I know it is, and it is sheer good fortune that chance is mine. I tell you, Sally, if you agree to run it, goodness only knows what the possibilities are. It's there. It's waiting. All you have to do is move in and rule. There's only one thing you can't do. You can't delay a decision or the chance will be lost. Well, what decision is there to make, eh? You're bound to succeed. You know you are. What a partnership it could be, eh? A wonderful, exciting family affair. It's for your sake, Sally. You know, it really doesn't matter to me. Don't you agree with me, Mrs. Lessways?
Oh, you've only got to open your mouth to talk anybody into the middle of next week.
Oh, no, but really, seriously.
Well, I think it's worth considering.
There you are.
I should be all alone up there.
Oh, I should come up with you and see you into the place. Of course, I'd have to go back again the same night. I'm so tremendously busy up here just now with the paper and so on.
Yes, but I quite admit all you say, George.
Oh, now here is another idea. Why don't you ask Mrs. Lessways to come up with you and stay for a week or two, eh? It would be a rare change for her and company for you.
Bless you, I've only been in London once, and that was only for...
I should be here alone and free.
I've been no use in London at my time of life. I'm one of your homestayers.
Oh, nonsense, Mrs. Lessways. It would do you the world of good. And it would make all the difference to Sally.
That it would.
Do go, Mother.
Yes. And leave you here by yourself, a nice thing.
I shall be all right.
Shall you?
Well, why not take your daughter with you?
Oh. But I couldn't leave my work just now. The paper just coming out. You couldn't spare me.
Oh, yes, I could. Yes, we shall manage all right. So there you are, you see. There's absolutely nothing at all to hinder you. And you shall have the company you want, Sally. It's decided. It's done. It must be, Sally. You know it must, for your own sake. Now, why don't you two talk it over after I've gone, eh? Only it's already decided. Don't you forget that. Oh, Mrs. Lessways, I almost forgot I came here on business. Calder Street, number 24. I'm afraid it's impossible to get any rent out of those people there. I'm sure you shall have to put them out.
Well, if you think...
No alternative, I'm afraid. Have you got the old rent book? We could see if they ever paid anything then.
Where is that old rent book of Mr. Scallon's, Helder? Helder?
If I'm as useless as that, I'll never go near his office again.
I sometimes wonder what most people do.
Baby! A great baby, that's what I am. I can twist my mother round my finger any time.
Good afternoon, Miss Lessways. You're early today.
Oh. Am I, Mr. Dason? Well, I expect there's things to do.
Always are, always are. London papers, you see. Read them thoroughly, Miss Lessways, whenever you can. Read every paper you can lay your hands on. A young woman in a position as responsible as yours cannot possibly know too much. Now, if you care to take your notebook, I have a little something I should like to compose.
Yes, Mr. Dason. Ready. Mr. Dason.
Right. Here we go. Headline. A scandal in the Five Towns. Para 1. On this our first bow to the public, comma, we feel it is our solemn and bounden duty, comma, to the district which it is our highest ambition to serve, comma, to make known certain disquieting facts concerning a prominent member of our community. Stop. Mr. Richard Anvil is a man who is known to you all. Stop. Mr. Richard Anvil has the honor to be a councillor. Stop. Mr. Richard Anvil is a candidate for High Bailiff of Turnhill. Stop. Mr. Richard Anvil is a self-seeking swindler. Stop. Para 2. Let us consider the way in which Mr. Richard Anvil has so grossly abused the position of esteem and trust which it has already been this gentleman's privilege to hold.
Got those advertising figures, Jason?
Oh, crumbs. 1 moment or less, and they will be with you.
Good afternoon, Miss Lesways. Everything settled about the trip to London, then, eh?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Cannon.
Good.
Oh, I shan't be going to London, by the way.
Oh, really?
No. Mother has decided she can manage without me.
Oh, well, that's...
So, if there should be anything that you need, I shall be here anyway.
Good. That's good.
There you are, Governor. Apologies for delay.
Thank you, Jason. And let me have the draft of that leading article when you've finished it.
Right, the Emperor's departed. Where was I? Miss Lesways?
Sorry, Mr. Daisy. Already been this gentleman's privilege to hold.
Oh, yes. Need something juicy here. Right, got it, yes. Hold the pencil ready for me inspired words.
Dummy.
Maggie, look at this.
Is it?
Now, come on, look at this. What do you think this is here?
A room.
Wrong, see? It's the hall.
But it's square.
Yes, it is. Isn't it fascinating? You see? You always think of halls as being long and narrow, but they don't have to be. Oh, no. It all depends on the shape of the house. Anyway, they're much better square because that way it gives you space to breathe. This over here is the dining room. You have your meals in that room there, and when you're finished, you walk into the drawing room there. Well, that's as it should be, isn't it?
That's all the inside, is it?
Of course it is.
What does the outside look like?
Oh, we don't know yet.
Why not?
Well, you can't make up your mind on the outside of an house before you've decided on the inside. The elevation comes last, not first.
You know what Clara would say, don't you?
What?
She'd say she knew where you packed that up. She'd say you packed that up for Mr. Orgrave.
Well, as it happens, she won't say anything because she's out with that ridiculous Albert Bembo.
I don't think he's ridiculous.
Is she really going to marry him?
She says.
Her life.
It is.
Look, Maggie. Mr. Orgreaves asked my opinion on the landing. Here it is, here. We have to decide if we want 2 windows or 1.
Best ask Father, I should think.
He's not interested, you know he's not.
It is his house, said he.
Mr. Orgreave told me himself that when he talked to Father about it, Father told him to settle it with me. He's regretting it already, Father is. He wishes he'd said he'd never build.
He could stop it, you know. There's not a brick laid yet.
Do you think he will?
No.
But if he doesn't want it?
Of course he wants it. He can't be bothered with it and he hates the cost, but surely you know Father by now. If he hadn't wanted it, he wouldn't have said. He wants to live on the hill. And he wants other folks to see as he does.
Father's not like that.
Happen you don't know Father at all.
Well, whatever he wants, I shall watch it built. Every day I shall watch it until it's done.
Oh, Florrie. I dare say I shall be very late tonight. The first edition of the paper comes out tomorrow, you see. Now, I shall rely on you to get to bed not later than 9. I've got the key, but I may have to be very late indeed.
Yes, miss.
Bye then, Florrie.
Bye, miss. beautiful I am. How beautiful I am. Shan't I just smash the men? Shan't I just smash them? How beautiful I am. How pretty I am.
Why should I be angry with her? I'm being just like Mother all over again. Why shouldn't she? Why shouldn't she? I'm just jealous of her, that's all. She's lived so much. And where am I? I'm the first lady stenographer in all the 5 towns. Mr. Richard Enville. Scandal in Turnhill. Come in. Why are you wearing that old skirt, Florrie? When I specially gave you my long brown one. I told you
I did
you
put
could
it on, miss, but there come a telegram. I told the boy you were here, but he said there was no affair of his, so I brought it myself. And I thought you wouldn't care for to see me in your skirt, miss, especially here like, so we up quick and changed it back.
Lessways Street, Turnhill. Mother ill? Can you come gaily? Yes. Thank you, Florrie. That'll be all right.
Miss.
You can run along now.
Oh, thank you, miss.
I must go.
Mr. Richard Anvil wants a cup of tea.
Mr. Richard Enville.
Needs a cup of tea. Stand by for a new leading article.
I must go. Oh, it's quite stupid. She's never been seriously ill.